Hey everyone, I'm glad y'all can take time out of your day and come see how to do a mail merge. I appreciate you taking that time and I hope you're having an awesome day. Let's make it better, okay? So, in the email I sent you, along with the link to this video, is two files. The two files are the membership Excel file that has your data that you're going to merge with, and the other one is the instructions on how to do a mail merge. I made this a long time ago. It was for Office 2007, but it still stands true today. The screenshot's pretty much the same and all, so I haven't changed it, but you're welcome to share it with other people and help them learn more about Excel. The Excel file is something I am going to talk about is how you set it up. I want to make sure you understand that in a database we've been creating them all along is the column headers got names, labels on it. That's the reason why it's so important. And then each of these records, which means each of these unique information that has the same similar information, last name, first name, so forth, is going to be unique to that one row, and that's the record and that we're going to use to do the mail merge. Notice there's no blank lines in this. This has about 35 people in there, 36 people, and we can do a mail merge saying, hey, your membership, your premium membership's due and the fee is da da da. Now, you can use mail merge for many different things other than just making form letters. You can make them mail merge by doing a inventory sheet, such as on the second page, where I will have all these labels here and of my part numbers, and I want to verify my count for inventory, and I don't want to have to manually do this. This only had about 35 in it, but it could be 3,500. It could be 35,000, and you don't want to have to go to each item like that to do that. So you will delegate and give it out to people in the form of a card to do the inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and close these files out, but you download them. They'll be in the download folder, and if you want to, you can put them on your desktop. Just put it in a place that you can find it easily. And to get started with Word, you can go, I have it file open already down here, but if you just go down here to the start menu, you can find Word that way, or you can search for it and you just open up, and it normally opens up to the backstage area where a new document. And let's go ahead and open up a new document. By the way, I am talking a little bit faster, so if you miss anything, you're welcome to back up and look at different things and see what you missed. And again, you're welcome to call and or text me and ask me any questions. So on the mail merge, you're going to look in here at these. You got typical formatting tools that we used in Excel, but the ribbon that says mailing is where you're going to start. Now, I've done mail merges for 3,500 emails, 800 mailing labels, personal envelopes to a whole bunch of people at one time. And I found out I can do each of these steps. Some of these are not active because we don't have information for it to activate. But I found out it was easiest just to go through the wizard. And that's what I've been using for about the last 25 plus years. So just go to up there on the mailings ribbon, start mail merge, and down the very bottom, the wizard. And when you do open the wizard, it opens up the side menu here. And it just walks you out step by step, asking you questions. What do you want to design? You want to get, in this case, we're going to do a letter. And then I just click on next, and it'll say, okay, what was this, start on next. It says, is it going to be this existing document? Right now it's a blank sheet of paper, but we're going to fill it out. And that's the one we're going to use. But if you happen to have a template, like such as a bad check letter that you've already got the fields in there set up, and you can just open that one. The same thing with the existing document. You didn't save it as a template, but you saved it as just a regular document. And so we're just going to use the current document, start from there, and let's click on next to see what happens there. When you click on next, the next question, it says, who do I send it to? And uh, you can use an existing list, which I recommend all the time. Set it up in Excel. I've tried to use this other one, type in my list, and it just got too clunky. So I've always gone over and used out a existing list, namely Excel or Access or something like that. Select from Outlook contacts. You can, if you are diligent in putting addresses and the necessary information, email addresses, whatnot, in your Outlook contacts list, then you can use that, but you're limiting yourself to just what you have in your contacts list. So let's go ahead and use existing lists and click on the next down here on the problem. See, we're already halfway through the wizard. So the next one is where you can find your information. Oh, excuse me, I skipped a step. I haven't found my data yet, so it reminded me. Let me cancel that, and I want to say browse. Browse and find your list, and it defaults to my data. But I told y'all you probably need to save this. I saved mine to the desktop, so I can go to desktop. If you have saved it to the download file where you download it from your email, you can find it there. But it's going to be ModT membership data. And I select it and open. Now I purposely put two tabs or worksheets on this down there, one for inventory and one for membership, where you just have to double check which one's which. That's the reason it's so important to name your worksheets, to not have to reopen it and say, which sheet is that on, sheet 1 or sheet 2? So I want to choose the membership and okay it. And in this section here, you can sort it for alphabetically or by zip code. Used to, you had, if you did a mass mail out, you had to group it by the first 3 digits of the zip code. So all the 724s were for the Jonesboro area. 724 or 725 is Batesville, 723 is Blytheville hub, but now it don't really matter because it's done by the computer, so you don't have to do that. But this is where you would go sort or filter and say, I want only the people that live in a certain city to get this letter. And so you can choose by either clicking or undoing their link where they won't get one, or filtering it that way. Filtering is better because we only had 35 people on this list, but what if it was 3,500? I don't want to go and look at each person. I'll either send it to somebody that don't need it, or I will send it or forget and not send it to somebody. So that's the reason I always just use a filter. So okay it. Now I can go down there for step 3 I'm done. So I'll go and write my letter, and it's a blank sheet of paper like I mentioned. And you notice up here on the mailing toolbar, mailing ribbon, some of these buttons that were inactive are active now. And so I can start going like, what's usually on the top part of your letter that you send somebody is their first name. In between my first name and last name, I have a space. Maybe you do too. So you can press space and insert last name. Now this is just putting the field name in there. Later on we'll get the actual names in there. Press enter to drop down to the next line. And let's do the street, enter, and then we have city with a comma in between that and the state, and insert the state field and a couple of spaces. So let's do that, zip code. And so I press enter, and now you're ready for the salutations or the hellos, dear. And I'm going to be a little bit informal and just use their first name. Sometimes when you're setting up a database, it's a good idea to use title, a field called titles. You can put Mr., Mrs., Ms., Doctor, Reverend, whatever in that spot. To make it, if you're doing a more formal letter. Well, I'm doing an informal letter, so I'll do dear first name. In the instructions, I did more of a actual letter showing their premium or their status, what type of membership they have, and the cause. I'm going to play around here and say congratulations. It shows me, hey, I got that, so I'm going to press tab to accept that and say You have just won $10 million. Forgot the extra comma. Exclamation mark. Please send us your checking account number so we can deposit your winnings. Have fun. And then this is, we know it's all a scam. So sincerely, I'm a crook. I think that's how you spell crook. Crook or crock, whichever. And then you got your letter how you want to set it. Now, I didn't put any fields down here, but like if I was going to put, hey, send $30 for your processing fee, I can insert that field in the body of the letter too. But I didn't on this one. So you click on next and you get to see a sampling of the letter, what it looks like for the first person on your list. And you can go over here and cycle through each person. Of course, most people just look at the first one and say, okay, that's what I want to look like. And then you can click next. And this last one is kind of important. You can send it directly to your printer. And like I said, this has got 35, 36 people in it. And each person will have, I will be using 36 pieces of paper to print this out because each person is on a new sheet of paper. So I don't want to do that. I want to kind of look at it a little bit. And if I click on edit individual letters, it will go ask me, will you want this, all of them, or just this record, or one record between 10? You can kind of tell which way it can be pre-printed. I had a printer that can only do about 200 and the memory was too small on the printer, and I had 800 envelopes I had to print out, so I did envelope 1 through 200 and then 201 to 400 and so like that to make it all work. But I'm just going to say all and okay it, and it starts a new file, and you can watch page number. It says 1 of 2, and then all of a sudden it'll just start counting off, and it got 36 down here on the left corner. And so now it's really individual letters. It's not got the mail merge activation stuff activated because it's where it actually merged and ready to be printed. Now, if you notice that I kind of like to change things out. I have 2 different files. I'm going to kind of scoot this over where you can see. Here's where I have set it up because the mail merge window's activated. Here's where I sent it, merged it. So this is the actual merge file, and this is a setup file. So what I do a lot of times is I also save my merge setup file as different than my setup file. I'll say scam letter merge setup, scam letter merge, actually merge or merged with a D on it. So I distinguish that. But after looking at this, I like to bring their attention to this congratulations part and draw it. So I'm going to just close this one out. It's just like throwing it away in the trash can, not save it. And I'm going to redo this. I'm going to go say, hey, I like this part here to be bold. And notice when I select it, it comes up a quick formatting toolbar. And I'm going to bold it and maybe even increase the font size. On the money, since money is green, I want to change the letter to green, just like we did before in class with changing context. You just have to select the data here compared to selecting the cell in Excel. And let me see what that looks like. So I'm going to say edit again individual letters, and it did 30. Well, it's still 1 of 2, but it will be eventually all the letters showing here. And I can go through each individual letters. Maybe I know Mr. William here, and I don't want him to do it. Instead of my boss seeing me pulling his letter out, and I can just put a shape in there and put a shape, draw a shape, and say it is a scam. And now it's only on that one sheet, whereas the others are not on that, and it's not on the setup page. If I put it on where I had set up with the field names and all, it would have appeared on every letter. So there's just how to do a quick mail merge. If you want to do another one, I'm going to go File and New, Blank Sheet. I'm also going to try it this time with labels. Labels are used many times besides mailing, put them on an envelope. You can also use them to do inventory list. You can do it for checkoff sheets that you happen your data is set up in a database. I did it with t-shirt orders for Vacation Bible School, and then I put the kid's name, the t-shirt size, and when I got the right t-shirts, I bundled them up and grouped them together and gave them to their teacher, and the teacher knew which size to give to each kid based on that label on the t-shirt. So it is a very powerful tool. And again, you go up here to the mailings section of Word and start a mail merge. But this time in the very first step, it says, what are you going to do? I'm going to choose mailings. And one of the things that you notice on mailings is, and when you go to the next step, it'll ask you, what type of options do you have? Label options. When you buy a package of labels, it'll tell you use such and such label, Avery or Office or whatever, and a number. Well, I do name tags for a ladies retreat, so I clicked on that. Hey, it's already been chosen. 5392 is the label, and there are 3x4 name tags, but they're index card size, and so I can use that and just rip up and okay it. Excuse me. And now it says, okay, I got that. And you see how it kind of got the little grid lines to show you that each card. Really, you set it up on the first top left corner, and then later on we'll update the labels and it'll fill in these rest of these cards for us, okay? So I'm going to select recipients, and it'll say, okay, I don't have any recipients. Which one you want to use? I'm going to browse and find that one on the desktop. And it's the membership data. But this time I am going to use the inventory sheet. So I use the inventory sheet and okay it. And so I can do my filtering, and I'm thinking about it. And all those numbers had ABC, that's the department. And I kind of like to have those grouped together where I don't have to sort it by hand. I'm going to go over here to the sort button and tell it to sort by the item number and okay it. And then it will put all the A's together, and actually the second number is the sub department, and they can delegate it out to the other departments within their big department, region, or cell, whatever you want to call it. And then you can, it'll make life a little bit easier for you. Try to work smarter and not harder. And so, okay this, and now you go, okay, I got the information, you've organized it, so let's go to the next, and let's get it set up and arrange it. And so, again, you work in the top left corner of the labels, and see the very first part is, I'm going to put the part number or item number up here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit where you can see a little bit better. Alrighty, so that is a fill. So I'm going to say item. Notice it didn't have the number sign on the end of it. Just a FYI to give your fill names descriptive headings. Okay, so I press enter to drop down a couple lines and say insert. Oops, I'm going to type in first the part description. I'm just going to type description. What should they be looking for? And that they be the part name. And then drop down a couple lines. Count on file. And we know what that is. That's count here. But then later on, I drop down a couple more lines. Actual count on hand. You know, a lot of times things don't get reported, and we want to, and that's going to be blank because I'm going to fill that out later, but I want them to fill it out. And then you might put down what other things you might be putting in there. Um, who did it? Count by, and then you're going to have a space for them to put their name and or initials or whatever, and date. Ooh. Oh, I'm holding down Control key. That's the reason it was zooming out. I just learned something. Huh. So I made my own little form basically, and I only worked on that one. Now I need to update all the others. You got update labels here, or under the mailing ribbon, you got update labels there. Either one, they're the same thing. So I updated them, and I went, I kind of like that. But then, if you want to go even and start bolding some stuff, remember about the format painter. Under the home ribbon, we can double click on it, and it's good for multiple shots. And I can say this part's going to be a little bit bolder to draw your attention to. You can put a title up there. You can change the alignment, whatever. And so this has bolding. Ooh, I didn't do that last one. Bold. And this one don't. So I need to go back to my mailings tab and tell it to update. And now all of them have it. So I'm done with step 4. Let's see what preview. See how now the numbers, even though the listing is all messed up, it's done by the count, sorted by the number of items, largest to smallest. Here it puts in alphabetical order for us. And then you want to complete the mail merge, and again, you got to have the that paper size type labels. I've seen people actually do it on cardstock and then use a guillotine type thing to cut the paper all up. Paper cutter, that's it. But I can say edit all, and after a little bit of thinking, now I got my whole bunch of pages with my cards ready to pull apart and send to the different areas of the shop and get my inventory done. So again, mail merge is a way to just make life a little bit easier for you to get a large amount of data into that's going to be the same thing repeated over and over again into a letter or a card or a envelope, and you don't have to put it in multiple times. Just a little bit different each record. This is it. I'll talk to you later. If you got any questions, don't forget to text me or email me, and hope you have a great day, and see you next time.